Hey, good morning, guys. Another beautiful morning here, Corpus Christi, Texas. Try to position myself where the sun is not in the way. All right, guys. I'm excited to share with you one of my another. All of these are my favorites. You're always going to hear me say one of my favorite portions. They're all my favorite, but each one of them is uniquely one of my favorites. So just to kind of recap for those that may be just joining in on us, is I've been recapping something I've been doing every day. This, by no means did I create this. This is something I've been following as a recommendation from one of my mentors, and is following this book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, I highly recommend you can go and get it at Amazon for like $15 or so. And he tells his story in the book, but he covers something that he started doing that's called the Lifesavers. And the Lifesavers is an acronym. So SAVER stands for silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. And I've been covering each day one aspect, each portion of the Lifesavers. And then we're going to continue to break those down further and further and further. But we started off with silence, and so silence is purposeful silence, sitting quietly and focusing on prayer, meditation, some kind of reflection on maybe the day you had yesterday or the day that you want to currently have that you woke up to. And I shared what I do during my portion of the silence, and basically that's kind of what I'll be posting on these episodes. Is I'm going to be covering what it is that I do. You don't have to do what it is that I do, but I just want to share with you the concepts behind the Miracle Morning, and then how maybe this can be applied in your life. Okay, this is something I've been practicing for the past year and a half, and it's definitely helped me change my mindset on specific areas of my life that I was lacking in. Things, many limiting beliefs that I was coming across, and things that have been holding me back personally and professionally. So we went into affirmations yesterday, and I covered, well, what is it that we're telling ourselves every day? And I covered, our words are definitely powerful, especially whenever we put emotion behind those words. When we put emotion behind our words, they're extremely powerful. So examples I talked about yesterday were Muhammad Ali, and how he would scream over and over to his opponents, "I'm the greatest," right? That's one of his quotes that he's known for, is "I'm the greatest." But he didn't just say it in a monotone. He didn't say it monotone. He screamed it. He knew it. He believed it. So he had emotion behind that affirmation, and arguably he is the greatest boxer of all time, right? So I also covered a water experiment that was done in 1990 by a Japanese doctor, and he covered the effects of our words on water during the freezing process, from it going from a liquid to a solid. Things that affected the water were environment, words, music, prayer. All these things had specific effects on the water in either a positive or negative effect. So today we're going to be covering visualization, the visualization or the vision portion of our Miracle Morning. And I'm going to share with you what it is that I do, and how what I go through during my visualization portion. But I'm also going to kind of give you some examples and a few things that Hal talks about in the book. So what we're going to focus on today as part of the vision portion is we're going to focus on, well, what do we actually visualize? What are we currently actually visualizing? So really quick, visualization, this is something that's currently being put into use by many successful people that we know of, right? People such as Bill Gates, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Anthony Robbins, Tiger Woods, Will Smith, Jim Carrey, Oprah Winfrey. And there's no coincidence that these people that put this vision practice into practice are crazy successful at their profession, right? So he talks about here, he says, Tiger Woods is arguably one of the greatest golfers of all time for his famous visualization and mentally picturing each shot, right? They actually, in an interview, Jack Nicklaus, another great golfer, said, I never hit a shot, not even in practice, without having a very sharp, in-focus picture in my head. So visualization is all about seeing yourself where you want to be, but then actually kind of visualizing what that day looks like, or what it's going to happen. So if you have like a weight loss goal, or if you have a competition goal like for strength or martial arts or sports, you want to visualize the process. You want to visualize what's actually happening when you achieve this goal that you've been after. Athletes are very well known for using visualizations, right? You've heard the term "see it before you do it," right? See it before it happens. So that's what visualizing is actually seeing what it is that you want happening, and repeating this to yourself over and over, right? Just constantly visualizing. You got to visualize the process, not just visualize the prize, right? You got to visualize the process. You got to visualize what it's going to take to get there, and you got to visualize yourself doing it. You got to visualize yourself enjoying what it is that you're envisioning. Okay, so I thought this was really interesting here. He talks about Jim Carrey. We're all familiar with Jim Carrey, right? And what does everybody other than In Living Color, what does everybody know Jim Carrey for? For Ace Ventura, right? Dumb and Dumber, right? That's kind of what everybody knows him for. Well, check this out. There's a story that Jim Carrey wrote himself a check in 1987 in the amount of $10 million. He dated it for Thanksgiving of 1995. And in the memo line, he wrote, for acting services rendered. He visualized this check. He stared at this check and he visualized him earning a $10 million check for years. And he post-dated it for like 8 years out. And he visualized himself cashing this check, visualized his process of what it is that he was doing. So in 1994, he earned $10 million from Dumb and Dumber. I mean, which was amazing. And he cashed that $10 million check. So again, that just goes to show you the power of visualization. Visualizing what it is that we want, but also visualizing the process of what it's going to take to get there. Quick question is, well, what do we actually visualize? So most of the time, this was me in the beginning, when I was visualizing, what happened to me in the past, and what challenges are going to happen, what roadblocks I'm going to run into when I get there. And I was wondering why this was not working. I was wondering why it wasn't working. I wondering why I wasn't improving, I wasn't getting anywhere. It's because I was visualizing on the wrong things. We have to use a creative visualization, right? We want to be creative with our visualization, just like we want to be creative with our affirmations and our goals. We want to be creative in our visualization. We want to see very specific aspects, very specific details of what it is that we're visualizing. So, for instance, for me, I have a TSC competition coming up April the 8th. And what I do is I focus every single morning, even during the actual training and during the training of getting ready, is I'm visualizing each lift. I'm visualizing what it's going to feel like. You also have to visualize and expect for hurdles to come up. Well, what if I miss it? What if my grip starts to fail? okay, you got to visualize the challenge also, but then you visualize how you overcome the challenge. Okay, so there's going to be challenges. I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect. There are going to be challenges during the visualization portion. So I visualize myself getting into the perfect position. I visualize taking a breath. I visualize my foot placement. I visualize creating tension throughout my entire body before the deadlift. And then I visualize the smoothness of the lift as I execute the pull. And this is something, so during my visualization portion of the Miracle Morning, I close my eyes, and whatever it is that I want to visualize for that day, for instance, my workout, my prep for the TSC, I close my eyes and I visualize what that workout's going to feel like. I visualize everything, all the smoothness, but then I also visualize some of the challenges and then how I overcome the challenges. So I highly encourage you, if you've been struggling with something, whether it's weight loss or getting stronger or a relationship or financial, write those goals down during your affirmations. And then, there's no coincidence that vision is right after affirmations, right? So after we write those goals down, after we just finished affirming specific things into our life, now it's time to visualize us attaining those goals. Visualize walking across that stage to receive whatever goal or whatever award or whatever trophy or whatever diploma that you've been working towards. Visualize yourself walking that stage to receive that master's degree, to receive that doctorate degree. Visualize yourself being awarded that double gold at the World Championships in 2017. Visualize buying yourself new clothes because you're now in the best shape of your life. You've lost those 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds. Visualize yourself going shopping and enjoying, and you're out with your friends, and what that day's going to look like and what you're going to do after you get the clothes. And so you be creative. You're only limited by your imagination. So this is something I didn't focus on before. I was always focusing on, well, this might happen, and I didn't visualize. I visualized a challenge for sure, but I didn't visualize how I'd overcome the challenge, right? So whatever it is that you want to focus on during that vision portion is be as creative as possible. See yourself, see what that day will look like. You should be able to smell it. You should be able to touch it. You should be able to, obviously see it, right? And continue to put that into practice. So that's what I wanted to cover today, is what are we actually visualizing during our vision portion of the Miracle Morning. Tomorrow we're going to be going over the exercise portion. So I'm going to show you, obviously, I'm a big kettlebell fan. I love kettlebell training, and I'm all about strength. And I'm going to show you kind of what it is that I go through when I get ready to train, and what my thought process is, and what it is that I'm doing, and how I overcome specific challenges during training. So that's something we're going to cover tomorrow. That's all I got for you guys today. Today's vision portion is visualize yourself achieving that goal right after your affirmations. Visualize achieving that goal, but you also got to visualize the process of what it's going to feel like as you're attaining that goal. Okay, visualize everything that's going on. Okay, and then from there, you'll get there. Okay, from there you'll get there. But I just wanted to kind of share with you what I did wrong, and it just takes practice. But that's all I got for you guys today. Have a great Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for the exercise portion of the Miracle Morning. Have a great Friday. Bye.